Right guys, how you going? Mason Corby here with another video tutorial for you. On this one I'm going to be just going over some head-up flying, head-up tracking, and just going over some various points. This is a jump that I did down in Sydney a while ago. It's nothing too special, just working with these boys on just getting some better range for head-up moving and forwards, backwards, just all of it. So it's not super tight, but we'll see how we go and hopefully we can pick some things up. Looking at the exit guys, so for head up exiting, what we want to see is we want to see this first individual here, the person on the camera step leaving first. This should be the next, this should be the next, and then this should be the last. Okay, so it's the opposite stack up to what head down is. The reason this person's going to get the cleanest air straight away because their head and their torso is going to fall back. If the plane is going this direction, they're going to fall back and have clean air while the other people drop off. Whereas if this individual here, Shane, if he drops off first, the relative wind's pushing him this direction. The relative wind's pushing him this direction. Okay, so he's naturally going to get pushed straight into this person who's going to get pushed there. By this person leaving early, they have clean air, they have clean air next, and then last. Now this doesn't happen on this one, and it's not always going to happen, so you should also learn not just how to exit in clean air, but also how to exit in dirty air, you know, in burbles, because most of the time you're going to be exiting that and how to recover. Okay, so let's continue. Boom. They all exited pretty clean anyway, hey? So Shane done a great job of nailing the exit here. So you can see what he's done. All of them done, they've just let their torso go back into the relative wind. Okay, he hasn't tried to dig his heels or his feet into the ground. Okay, he has pushed slightly with the arm, but he's really thinking about getting all that torso into the relative wind. Donnie's doing the same here as well. She has gone off axis of the plane, but you can see she's not really digging her feet in. She's kind of just leaving those feet at the same pitch and rate as what her torso is. Just here, same with the hands. Okay, you can see there. On the phone it might be a bit harder to see, we'll zoom in. Okay, you can see they're all quite similar. So what she's going to be doing, she's going to be waiting and just letting her body rotate around until it's on the same level as us, and that's when she's going to be wanting to straighten the body. Boom, there we go, it's exactly as she did. So she probably straightened the legs too far down towards the ground, that's why she's got that distance compared to into wind. So if we go back slightly, you can see here, about here, if Donnie stayed at this motion, okay, Donnie is the one here. If Donnie stayed at this pitch and all she did was rotate, and then when she rotated, if she straightened her legs this direction, and that way they would match the same as this. Whereas what happens, you can see here already slightly, you can see the legs going down. Okay, so she's starting straightening her leg around this direction. Okay, and that's what makes her go steep and further away. Let's see that small motion. Okay, so now she's too steep. Stay at that pitch and straighten the body there. You can see here with Shano, the one at the front with a shit-eating grin on his face. He's the one doing that. So very good work there. To be expected, bloody Shano. How's it exiting? Cool. So Benny back here, okay, he's trying to lean forward on the wind, so the wind's hitting through the butt essentially and up wind line of his body, so the wind's hitting equally belly and back. Okay, the only way to do that is allow your torso to go into the wind line. Okay, so you can see it'd be pretty similar to what I am. Okay, so let's continue. Enough about the exit. Cool, so here, nice work. Shane trying to get back on level. Ideally, the level we want to see everyone at is around this kind of level here. Okay, we want to see people around here like this. Okay, being low down there, it's going to make it a lot more difficult for you to close that distance. So ideally, that's what we're wanting, but because we're on approaching still, to get there, what he's doing is he's opening his body, he's opening his torso, his legs wider, so he catches more surface area on the inside here. And this, because he catches more surface area, it's going to put him back into one of these positions, so then he can drive forward. Sometimes by opening the legs wide and changing the pitch at once, that also allows you to make more of a direct angle directly towards that leader, depending on what speed the leader is doing. If the leader is flying faster, it might be different. If the leader is flying slower. So he's closing, but he's not on that level, so you'll see he starts widening his legs to come up a bit more in a sec, to control it and fine tune it. Whee! Where did he come from? Coming in real hot. So now he's doing fine tune a bit more there. Let's go back and see where good old Sammy come from. I remember this one. So that's because he would have been just exposing too much surface area as he's coming from low and he's turning. Okay, so this is stuff you really want to try and avoid. Sammy usually doesn't do this stuff, otherwise his body positions are really good. Okay. He's not putting pressure on, just trying to take it all away once he's coming down. So he would have done essentially something similar to in a tunnel called they call a back out or over the back. It's just, you're just carving flatter. Essentially that's all you're doing. Because you're exposing more surface area, it's giving you more lift. So he's essentially done a back out and exposed more surface area, and he's coming up real quick. So it's like floating, like when you're floating for a formation head down, same thing. He's just floated too much, and that's why you can see he's coming through in quite a straight position already. And that's why he's still getting that lift, because he's just carrying that inertia as we're going down. So you really want to try and avoid doing these ones. If you do it, the recovery that he's done is excellent. Okay, he's probably freaked out a bit here, and looks like he's put his head back like this rather than having his head back, or even if it was myself in that one, I'd probably lean forward, okay, so to not expose so much of the back just here. But extremely good recovery. It's closing in now. You'll notice he starts coming back on level, so Shane, cool. Yeah, cool, so you can see how quickly he comes in. You'll notice as well slightly how his legs are quite straight, and now to start slowing down as he's coming in, he's just widening those legs ever so slightly. This one here, you'll see if he ever so slightly starts widening them as he's coming into position. Cool. And this is what I mean by that head back. Extremely good there, hey? You can see slightly over here, not so much. Okay, it is a prick to see. It's a bitch, okay? Well, not too bad, but the head was in a better position before. Just the small idiosyncrasies, really small things make a difference, but it's not saying it's right or wrong, because you can see each one of these flyers, they're here, they're in the formation, they're all on level as well right now. I'd be classed as on level. I wouldn't say necessarily we're in slot, but we're not flying in slot one, we're just trying to get the controls. My brief for these boys was get out. Use me as a skyball, use me as a reference. Every single one of these flyers has over 2,000 jumps. They are all industry skydivers. They all work in it for a job. This is a fun jump we're doing. So we have a lot of experience, so I wouldn't recommend going out and just doing these jumps if you're just beginning head up. Go out and do a 2-way or 3-way. Okay, these guys are all extremely experienced. Don't go out and do a 6-way like this, because it can end up extremely dangerous. You can see how quickly we're moving around already as it is. So great work here in formation, Benny. Benny's great fly as usual, on level. Real light dude. Oh, he's starting to get a bit off. No, he's on all over it. So you can see how he's slightly behind. I've gone through other videos previously about this. So great. Cool. So cool little jump there, guys. We'll go back and watch that once in full speed for you, just so you get a little bit of a view of it rather than me stopping and starting. And yeah, appreciate you. Thanks for watching. Cheers for continuing to follow the channel and like the content. So nice work, Donnie, at the back here. Really good, if you can see her. Sticking with it the whole time, hey? Not giving up. Didn't transition to a head. Kept view of everyone. Okay, that's a big thing when you're doing these, the head up ones, learning them, is stick to it. Don't get onto your head. Stick to it, stick to it, stick to it. Be safe. If you can't see the group, or you shouldn't be on it, then go and do some smaller stuff. Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching.